Yo, it's Pop. I've been peeping this channel, StayWavyTV. They keep it real with the stories, the culture, the grind, no fluff, just truth. If you about growth, about learning, about riding your own wave.
Batman starring Robert Pattinson, which was directed by Matt Reeves, came out March 4th, 2022, and the sequel is expected to release 5 years later on October 1st of 2027, but it is yet to be revealed who is going to be the villain in the Batman 2, okay? Now, all we know so far is that it's not going to be anybody that has ever been in a Batman movie before. So there's not going to be Mr. Freeze. There's not going to be the Joker. We do know, and it has been confirmed, that the Penguin is going to be in the Batman 2, but he will be playing a very small role, which means that he is not going to be the main villain, okay? Now, the first person that could be the villain in the Batman 2 is Hush, okay? The most obvious pick for whom Matt Reeves could have chosen is Hush. Created by writer Jeff Loeb and artist Jim Lee, Hush debuted in January 2003 in Batman number 609 and the now iconic Batman Hush storyline. Hush's real name is Thomas Elliott, and he was a childhood friend of Bruce Wayne who's attempted to murder his parents to inherit their wealth. However, Bruce's father, Thomas Wayne, saves Elliot's mother and begins to make the young man bitter towards the Waynes, a bitterness that worsens when Bruce's parents die. He is left to fulfill Thomas Elliot's dream of being an orphan. Elliot later adopts the persona of Hush, teams up with the Riddler, and discovers that Bruce Wayne is Batman, manipulating many of Batman's foes into a long conspiracy to ruin his former friend's life. Given that Thomas Elliot and Bruce Wayne were childhood friends, and Hush serves as a dark mirror image of Batman, it is easy to imagine Hush being the villain. The Hush storyline is a massive mystery in the spirit of the Long Halloween and would fit the tone of Matt Reeves established in the Batman. However, elements of Hush's backstory and even some of his villainous design were already pulled over into the Riddler, another bandaging wearing villain orchestrating conspiracies of murders for Batman to unravel might feel derivative. Second, okay, so the second villain that we might possibly see in the Batman 2, and this villain that I'm about to tell you guys about, this is who I'm hearing is going to be the most. Most people that are trying to guess who the villain is going to be, I'm hearing the Court of Owls the most, okay? The Court of Owls is a little too obvious, okay? The Court of Owls is one of the most substantial additions to Batman's mythology in the past 20 years. Introduced in Batman's Volume 2, number 1 in September of 2011, the Court of Owls was created by writer Scott Snyder and artist Greg Capullo. The Court of Owls is a secret society composed of Gotham's wealthiest and most influential citizens, having existed since the city's founding. They use their money and power to wield political influence since even before the release of the Batman. The Court of Owls has been a fan favorite pick to appear in the franchise, with even stars Robert Pattinson and Paul Dano being fans of the comic storyline that introduced them. Okay? The Batman explored the dark conspiracy behind the criminal underworld that Batman walks in. Then thematically, it would make sense to show the other side of Gotham that Bruce Wayne is supposed to mingle in and show their own dark, dirty secrets. The interaction between the Court of Owls and Gotham's crime family would be an interesting dynamic for the Batman Part 2, possibly forcing Batman to align himself with villains like the Penguin. Also worth noting is that one of the key members of the Court of Owls is Lincoln March, who believes he is in fact Bruce Wayne's long-lost brother, Thomas Wayne Jr. He isn't, so that could tie into Reeves' comments about an element from Bruce Wayne's past. So if you guys really think about it, it sounds like the Court of Owls is 100% going to be the main villain in the Batman 2, okay? Yet the Court of Owls is also a very comic booky addition to Batman's lore that might not fit into the largely grounded aesthetic that Matt Reeves has created. This is an organization with trained assassins known as Talons that can be resurrected from the dead. The idea of the Court of Owls being centered of an animal that preys on bats, but the organization existing centuries before Batman, is a bit too much of a comic coincidence for Reeves' take on the DC heroes. Reeves could drastically rework and downplay the more fantastical elements of the Court of Owls like he did with the Penguin. However, There was one more villain that walks the line between fantastical and real that might be best suited for the Batman Part 2. And that is nobody other than Dr. Simon Hurt, who was a 70s inspired Batman horror villain. Simon Hurt has a fascinating sorry y'all. Simon Hurt has a fascinating history. Originally an unnamed scientist in Batman 156 from June of 1963. The seemingly small background character was revived as one of Batman's most dangerous foes under writer Grant Morrison in Batman number 673 from June of 2008. Simon Hurt, also known as Dr. Hurt, has dedicated his life to destroying Batman in body, mind, and soul, with his ultimate goal being to replace him with an evil counterpart. Simon Hurt's identity remains a mystery, one that lacks a definite answer to this day, making him the ultimate foe for the Batman sequel. Dr. Hurt has implied that he is actually Bruce Wayne's 18th century ancestor, Thomas Wayne, a devil-worshipping figure. He has also implied that he is Bruce Wayne's long-lost sibling, Thomas Wayne Jr., the same sibling Court of Owls member Lincoln March claims to be. The supernatural bat demon, Barbados, and even the devil himself, Batman originally suspected he was just an actor named Mangrove Pierce, but that theory was quickly proven wrong. Much like the Joker, none of these identities have been confirmed. But in 2009 interview with Wizard Magazine, creator Grant Morrison gave a definitive supernatural answer saying, "The minute I say who he is, it will stop people talking." I was trying to do a definitive Batman story. Batman stories tend to put Batman against a diabolical mastermind. I thought, who's the ultimate diabolical mastermind? This is a story about Batman's Black Casebook, which is all the mysterious cases, the ones that are supernatural or bizarre. So for me, this is the ultimate supernatural Batman story. There are clues, there are places, in fact, where they actually state who's up against the story. But people don't want to accept the supernatural explanation. But yes, this is the story of how Batman cheats the devil. Now, immediately, the idea of a supernatural presence like the devil might make some fans dismiss the idea of Matt Reeves using Simon Hurt, since that would clash with the crime drama set up in the Batman and the Penguin. Reeves could easily go for one of the other takes of Dr. Hurt, possibly someone who claims to be Bruce's ancestor or long-lost brother, only to reveal it is all a ruse. Yet, when talking about the Batman Part 2's villain, Reeves also said, "Well, it's funny because I had a lot of ideas, and then Mattson Tomlin, who's my writing partner, we began the process of this by doing another deep dive into the comics, exploring the ideas that I had. He gave me some ideas that he had, and we sat together and we watched a lot of movies. Honestly, not all movies that are from the realm of Gotham." Okay? So, yeah, man, Simon Hurt could be the third villain. Those are my top 3 villains for you guys. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Who do you guys think is going to be the villain in the Batman 2? I think it's going to be the Court of Owls. I just think it would be too difficult for Matt Reeves to do a movie with the villain being Simon Hurt. I just don't see that happening. Simon Hurt possesses no overt supernatural powers aside from implied immorality, making him a potential fit for Reeves' Gotham. The director could either downplay or emphasize his possible demonic connections. It is easy to see how Dr. Hurt could menace Batman, toying with the hero's mind if he is a supernatural foe, as seen in many great Sherlock Holmes stories, right? Reeves could have Batman solve the problem, revealing Hurt to be mere mortal, or opt for a more ambiguous ending, one that never reveals whether Simon Hurt was supernatural or even if he was the devil himself, but leaves it up for the audience to decide. So with that being said, man, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. Let me know who you guys think the villain is going to be out of these 3 villains that I discussed. Make sure y'all subscribe, thumbs up the video, share the video. I really appreciate y'all for watching. It's your boy Wavy. I'm out.
Yeah. Welcome to the vibe. Stay wavy in the mix. Got the culture on the rise. Tap in, hit subscribe, ring that bell, let it ride. We gon' surf through the trends, give you game every time. Reviews, new views, keep it honest, never fake. If you're looking for the wave, this the channel you embrace. Stay